Hi guys, good evening and welcome to a new podcast with a new guest. So I hope you guys have been doing great. And recently I was busy last week. I had gone to Likabali in Arunachal Pradesh for a off-road competition organized by a new club in Likabali, Central Arunachal Pradesh, Bison Bill Off-Roaders. So I hope you must have enjoyed the videos which I have shared regarding my off-road competition. So here we are again to talk about travel today, travel and tourism, especially specifically in northeastern India, and also somewhat the rest of India. So we have a new guest with us today, Atanu Buragohain.
Hello.
He's a very well-known and known face in the terms of tourism, especially in Meghalaya and now in Nagaland, since he's based in Nagaland since last few years. So welcome to the podcast, Atanu,
Thank you.
and welcome to Rediscover the Northeast podcasts. So it's a new initiative which we have started, and I think this is our fourth or fifth podcast. So the core, the core foundation of Rediscover the Northeast is about travel and tourism. Since we started off as a travel, channel, so here we are today to talk about travel and tourism. So just a brief introduction about Otonu. So Otonu has been, I think, involved with tourism and resorts since last almost close to 10 years, I believe, right? And he was earlier based in Meghalaya, associated with a very well-known property in Sohra Meghalaya, which is Saimika. Sohra in Cherrapunji Punji recently is in the news for many reasons, but somewhat negative reasons. But yes, recently I think the case has gone into a conclusion actually with the arrest of the female uh, who is actually involved and plotting the murder of her husband. So he was based in Sohra Cherrapunji for almost close to 8 years with a property called Saimika. So, and now, since last, I think from 2019, right? So he's based in Nagaland and now involved actively in the travel activities and tourism activities in Nagaland, and also in focus with the other states of Northeast, specifically Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. So these are the focus points. So, like talking about, if we just start off, like how did you get involved in this tourism sector, like what was your past basically? So I know, to give a brief introduction, me and Atonu are actually childhood friends, and we have been knowing each other since class 3 almost. And but I just wanted to know and to ask you for our viewers basically. So like, how did you, got into tourism, and how did you got into Northeast? What were you doing before that? So just a brief introduction regarding you. So since we are talking in a very conducive manner, and we joke a lot, so I mean, I can understand this is somewhat a formal settings, but I think we can be very comfortable and we can talk and you know uh, give whatever information we have to our viewers. And I think it will be helpful for those people who want to come over and explore Northeast and Assam. Okay. Because I believe personally that in the coming few years, uh, Assam and Northeast will be a center stage for tourism in India, and tourism is going to grow many folds in Northeast. I believe so, because there are many new places and many unexplored places which are there in Assam and Northeast. Okay, so please, tell us about your, how you came over to Northeast, and back to Northeast. Actually, obviously you are born in Guwahati, Assam. How you again came back to Northeast? What were you doing earlier, and how you started off, and you just gave your first steps towards this industry, tourism.
First of all, I would say, it's a kind of a little odd
Okay.
to sit this way and discuss. And for me, especially, I'm not used to such a thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, I think rather than, I mean, there was no plan as such.
Mhm.
Maybe life happened
Mm.
in a way that, and I mean, with likes and dislikes, and I mean, somehow I went in this direction and flew. I mean, I was a avid traveler before myself. I was just traveling around I was in the corporate sector for many years in Bangalore,
Right.
and I mean,
So, which was the last corporate that you were working with?
Accenture.
Accenture. And when did you leave the corporate life? The rat race, actually.
2010.
2010. Okay, so it's been now many years actually.
Yeah, so I mean, I just got fed up, and I didn't know why I was working for. I mean, there was absolutely no inspiration, or I saw nothing. I just went
Hmm.
to the office, and I could not relate to what I was doing. I got a lot of money that time.
Right,
I mean, and most of the money we spend in the pubs. So that
right,
was what we did.
right.
Earn money, go to pubs, enjoyed life. Yes, of course. But then, I mean, looking at the broader picture, it didn't make much sense to me. I mean, I felt like I wanted something more,
Mm.
something, and that was a time of change when we were growing up, learning life, being independently starting up.
Mm.
So 2010,
And I think I still remember 2010. Back then, I was in Delhi. Me and Nomi were in Delhi, and you just called me one fine day, and you came over to Delhi. Stayed with us, I think, in Delhi for a few days, and then we all went to Manali. Right.
yeah. So like that, I mean, whenever I used to get a break, I get a off. I used to go up the hills, and I somehow got, had a connection
Mm.
with the mountains, with the hills. I mean, I felt so relieved. I mean, I felt like a different person altogether when I go up the mountains. It gave me, kind of it helped me a lot
Okay.
mentally at that phase of my life.
So going back to the corporate life, right? So many of us, like I think back in 2010, you were quite young. I believe. What was your age by then? In
I
2000,
don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe
early
30,
30s,
probably 2010. Yeah, 29, 30,
29,
29,
30,
30,
right?
probably. Yeah.
And many of us actually, we start our careers by around say 23, 24, 25 when we enter into a corporate.
Mm,
And I believe you must have also done the
mm.
same. So I believe in total you worked in a corporate for how many years in the corporate
7 years.
industry? 7 years, right?
7 years in between, 1 year break again.
Okay, in between again there was a break.
Uh,
Okay, so like many of us now we come to see a lot of people. They say that we want to retire at 40s, we want to retire at 45, or people are retiring very early now. So that has become a good, somewhat of a trend that people are saving up a particular sum of money. They have made up certain figure, a money figure which they have made a target. So when they have earned that amount of money, they are retiring, right? But in your case, as much as I know, I think you had no such plans. Like, you had no plans of like that you want to earn so much, this amount of money, and you want to just come out of the rat race, or you have to come out of the corporate. I
no,
believe that was nothing like that with you.
there was no plan of retirement, of course. I mean, just that I wanted a shift in life. I mean,
Shift in life.
wanted to
Okay.
do something which made sense to me. And travel was what I mean. Travel was not just traveling, go see places. I mean, it was a whole lot of learning. It helped me grow and mature as a person. It helped me to know myself, to realize, who I am and what I really seek from life. So it
Okay.
was kind of a, I would say, the kind of a spiritual journey, or inside it was changing me. I
Hmm.
completely became a different person after,
When you started traveling and exploring the hills.
yeah, and that is why this thought came, and then came. Those days I was, automatically, things. You hear your voice from inside. So
Right.
I started watching movies which were related to such thing. I mean, where you get a feeling that yes, people are doing different things.
Right.
Otherwise, we were the way we grew up
Hmm.
or the way we were raised.
Hmm.
We always knew that, okay, have to do this, you have to do this, you got to do your MBA, you got to maybe my parents are still disappointed that I did not do my MBA,
So
but
you didn't pursue any higher
yeah, because
education.
it didn't make any sense to me. So
Hmm.
I thought rather I gain experience and work.
Hmm.
So I mean that's how year on year and day by day, you every day is a learning. So then this even at work, I mean I had no no urge, or I mean I did not feel like I have to. My boss called me once and told me that, why don't you do this, why don't you go for this interview, why don't you work a little more, I mean work a little. I told him that my work, whatever is my work, I'll do it, but after that it doesn't make sense for me to sit. If there is no work, I will not come to office. He said, like this you will not get a promotion. I said, I don't even want a promotion,
Okay.
because I see my bosses, they had a horrible life.
Hmm.
And
So
I
you like the transition in your, I'll say that it's somewhat related to mental health. So that transition basically came, I think, very fast with you just because working for around 7 years, 1 year gap in that. So I would say a total of 6 to 7 years of work, and that I think you got some enlightenment that whatever I'm doing, I don't want to do it, and I should pursue my happiness. So something
Yeah,
like
more
that.
than I don't want to do it, I think it was more of the other calling, the calling from the other side.
Calling
That
from the other.
yeah,
I
so
okay. So
it's,
that's what I'm saying. Some kind of an enlightenment, and or you can say that it's some calling which
yes,
it
yes.
might be a inner calling actually.
So when I was working there, I was also working in a bar on weekends.
I think you were playing DJ,
Yeah, so I was playing music there. I mean, which that was also work,
right?
wherein I did not. I mean, I hardly got any salary, but the
Hmm.
kind of satisfaction I got from there,
Hmm.
it was different. I mean, if you compare both, I was getting a lot of money from this place,
Hmm.
but I had to push myself to go in there.
Hmm.
And then again, even I mean, on the other side where I'm rarely getting anything, I
Hmm.
mean, it gave me. I mean, I never. I mean, I used to whatever it is, I used to be there on time. And sometimes even though when the other shift guy he misses out, I was only happy to cover up. So sometimes it was like two shifts.
So it
Uh,
was like, since music is your passion, so it was like when you are working your passion job, so that is what actually makes everybody of us happy, right? Because most of us who are working in corporates, uh, most of us are working the jobs just to earn money, right? It's not like we are following our passion.
I think there are people who likes that also. So
Yes,
it's all personal.
all
There are
personal,
people.
yeah.
I mean, I have met people who enjoys their work, who likes office work. I mean, everybody's
Right,
choices are different.
right,
So I
right,
think I would not like to compare as such or generalize that and say that corporate work is not good.
right.
It may be good for some, and it may not be good for some. I
And
mean,
for some, I think it's more of like to follow your passion and listen to your inner voice and
yeah. And so that time this movie came out called Into the Wild,
uh,
which is I think an epic movie, and
calling to the
yeah,
wild.
those kind of things, Into the Wild. So those kind of things, I mean, was inspiration that I mean, such there are things to be explored. There are other things. I used to go through a lot of travel magazines, go to
Mm,
Kodaikanal whenever I mean get a chance, or just around, just go in nature. And nature, when you go in nature, automatically it gives you a different kind of a
right,
aura and
right,
feeling.
right.
So that way, I think that's why 2010 I just decided I packed up whatever I could
Mm,
in my bag, and whatever rest of the things I had, I gave it away to my friends.
okay.
And then whatever, I mean, my property was only my bag, so that's all I had.
Your Rakshak
Yeah. So with that, I came
to
and
Delhi.
met
You
you in
came back
Delhi.
to Delhi. You
Yeah.
came over to
So
Delhi.
that itself, and from there on, we went to Himachal.
Right.
Sham stayed there for a couple of days and came back. I ended up staying there for almost 8 months,
8 months,
and
yes. And I think
that
you had plans to stay a very long time in Himachal,
yeah, I had no
but
plans to
suddenly
return. Yeah.
your father actually, he got sick and you had to come down,
Mhm.
right?
So that was a life changing experience. It was not only about travel, but it
Mm.
was a life changing experience for
So,
me.
so tell us something about those 8 months in Himachal when you were there alone, with unknown people, and just tell us some experiences of those 8 years, sorry, 8 months in Himachal.
See, there, I mean, I saw a different aspect of travel. I mean, travel is not about just going and seeing places. I mean, I felt I belonged there. When I go to a place, I like to, know the place really. I mean, I don't like to go and, just one day here, one day there, and plan it in such a way. Rather, I like to choose one place, spend some time there, get to know the place, get to know the people, get to know their lifestyle, their culture,
Right.
get a feel of the place. And when I come back, I a, a part of the place comes back with me. So
Right.
even today, when I close my eyes, I mean, I can just picture everything in Himachal. I mean, I know the the lanes we walked, the people, and there's heart. I mean, I felt that there's a different world altogether, wherein we in the cities we mostly tend to think from the mind. There, I felt that, like, people. There are people, and there is a life. I called it
The
that time.
materialism is not there. The
There
materialistic way
is,
of
there
life
is.
is
I mean,
okay.
money, of course, is a
Yes.
factor. I mean, which we can't deny. I mean, it's a
Right.
part of us. It's a part.
But I
of,
think it's money is based on the needs which they have, but it's not like
yeah, people are
extra
happy.
needs.
I mean,
People are
you can
happy
say
and people are content.
people are not poor. Well, I mean, you can say people are poor, but they are happy. They have a big heart.
Right.
So that's one thing I learned there. That, I mean, you need a big heart, and you are accepted with open heart when you open up your heart.
Right.
So that was a completely different experience. I mean, I did not even. I felt like I belonged there. So 3 months in Manali, then went to Spiti.
So 3 months you were in Manali or exploring some places nearby Manali also?
Yeah, walking around, whatever. I mean, I don't. I don't much. I mean, I
Yeah,
just,
you're most into walking and all.
yeah. So I just it's not like going to a particular place as such, but just go around with the locals, sit with them. So in between a shepherd, I met a shepherd while walking, sat with him. We smoked a joint, and after that, he said, "Why don't you come and stay with me?" So then I went and stayed with him. So that was up in the outside. That was out of the where the tourists stop. So that was beyond that. So there only the local few people stay.
So you went ahead and stayed with
they
him
have
in
a
his
house.
village.
Yeah.
In his village. So for how many days did you stay with
So
him?
those are poor people, but they were so happy to share their meal. Even sharing a meal for them would cost them a lot. So
Right.
I used to go there. They would never take money. So I used to go with ration, like buy atta, buy some rice, oil, or whatever groceries, kind of, and take it. So that was the kind of exchange we had there. So it was a complete different perspective of life, and I called it the other side. So like how the song goes, break on through to the other side. So for me, it was like breaking on through to the other side, and it was. I mean, I can never forget those moments.
And Spiti, I think in 2010, 11 was very much raw.
Yeah, I was
very
actually
less of tourists.
Yeah. So that's the reason. I mean, buses were closed, transport was closed because.
So which month was there when you went to Spiti?
I went around May.
May. Okay.
Or
So
around
summers.
May. Yeah, September I came down. So it was around May, June, I think. So I would go to the bus stand, the Himachal Pradesh government
Transport.
bus,
Government
transport
buses.
service. So every day try to find out if buses are going. And suddenly one day it started going. So I decided, okay, I'll go.
From Manali?
Yeah. So I was going to Keelong.
Keelong, okay.
Yeah. So I took a bus from there to Keelong, and my plan was to from Keelong go to Ladakh.
Okay.
But on the way, the bus stopped after crossing. It took 6 hours to cross Rotang.
Okay, yeah, because back then Rotang was very crowded with tourists and
crowded, plus there were landslides happening. Road was not so good. Snowfall was happening.
Rotang Pass at that point of time was a nightmare.
A lot of rain was
a
happening,
nightmare
not
to
snowfall.
cross.
Sorry, but
Yes.
there was a little bit of snow.
Right.
So, and there another story, I mean, which I'll never forget. I mean, it's one of the most inspiring moments for me. I mean, ever if I feel down or low and I feel like giving up, I think of that, and it inspires me to go on a little more.
Okay.
So we were in the bus, stuck. there was a group of cyclists who were just passing by, about 6, 7 guys,
Okay.
and they were cycling up to Ladakh.
Okay. So foreigners.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So one of them I saw, he doesn't have a leg.
One leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, for us, even by going by a vehicle, or I mean, we can't even think of it.
Hmm.
We cannot imagine it.
Right.
So what that moment or that picture told me is that, I mean, if you have it here, I mean, you can
Mental
just
strength.
do anything.
Yes.
You can just do anything.
Right. Right.
So these kind of people, when you meet,
Hmm. And you get to meet this kind of people when you travel, actually.
yes, yes, yes.
It's not like you are sitting at your couch at home and internet is now so much available and social media is so much prominent. You get to see all kind of things in the internet, but it's until and unless you experience these things physically, is then only you realize that that moment, actually, because after so many years you are still sharing that moment with so much of passion, right? Because you have experienced that in front of your eyes.
So
Right.
after that, the bus stopped in
Okay.
Koksar.
Okay.
So from there you reach Gramfu. From
Hmm.
Gramfu, the road splits.
Hmm.
One goes to Spiti, one goes to Kilong, Ladakh further on.
Right.
So from there it went towards, since it was going to Kilong, it took the left and went to Koksar. It stopped in Koksar for, like a pit stop,
Hmm.
chai,
Hmm.
chai stop.
Roadside dhaba.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it was a beautiful place.
Hmm.
So I suddenly thought I want to stay there.
Okay.
So when the bus left, I told him, "Hey, wait, I'll take my bag." So I got down there.
Okay. You just went.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You got down at Koksar.
Yeah,
Ah.
Koksar. So then I tried to look for a place,
Hmm.
and people there, dhabas and all, are asking, "Arey, what happened? You didn't go?"
Hmm.
I said, "No, I want to stay here." They said, "There's nothing here to stay." And there's some ITBT or something post was there, but they were also, people were there.
Ah.
So suddenly one guy comes in. His name was Khemu.
Okay. So he comes in the dhaba.
Yeah, there were a couple of dhabas.
Okay.
So he was around. He was charging. There was only one shop which had a battery and they can charge their phone.
Okay. 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 So he was a local guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he suddenly came and said, "Come with me."
Hmm.
I said, "Okay." So he had another place,
Okay.
a tea shop. So he said, "This is my place. You
Hmm.
can stay here."
Okay.
I said, "Okay, cool."
God
I
send.
have my sleeping bag, and they have no beds or nothing. So they have just these rocks. I mean, these wooden benches, and on the sides they have this, how they have
the rock formations where you can sit.
rock slabs where they can sleep. So you can put your sleeping bag and sleep here if you like. If you're okay, I have no problem.
Okay.
I ended up staying there 2 weeks.
Wow.
It was such a beautiful place.
Okay. So you explored that place.
Yes, yes, beautiful.
Okay.
And there also another shepherd.
Hmm.
He at night he used to come whole day. In the daytime I did not meet him. He came at night.
Okay.
So he whole day he goes grazing. So he was my guide there.
Okay.
So he used to take his sheep for
and you just went ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, for me it was that kind of things, that gave me, a lot of meaning, a lot of satisfaction, and I loved it.
And you are with yourself, actually, no? At that time.
You get to know more people. I mean,
Right.
when we travel with friends, what happens is that we just keep talking among ourselves.
And we tend to talk about back home or some random things. Right.
So when you travel alone, I mean, I was always traveling alone mostly those days. So
and you meet new people.
Yeah, you meet new people.
Right. So for solo traveling, I have interacted with many solo travelers, and I just asked them that what do you like about solo traveling? Because I am also a traveler, I am an avid traveler, but I am not a solo traveler. I at least need one guy with me, right? Or anybody with me. I need one companion. But most of the solo travelers would say that they get to meet new people, they get to interact with the locals more. Plus, they are independent. They are free. They are not dependent on the schedule of the other person. So they have that freedom, actually, of solo travel.
And even when we travel solo, we meet people. We travel together. Along the way, you meet people. Okay, up to a point we go.
Right.
But then again, from a point, like they go their way.
Right.
And
again, you meet new people. And then you interact with about and new stories comes up, and you interact about new discussions, because if you go with your friends or family or whatever, you end up actually discussing the same things. Right.
So from there, actually, I was still waiting to go to uh, Ladakh.
Okay.
So I thought I'll go in a truck. So this guy says truck. All the trucks stopped there. Pit stop.
Right.
Then that became another thing. When the truck drivers they come in, everybody will have their stories.
Right. Right.
Amazing. I mean, I started really. I mean, I had no idea about truck drivers that way. But that is when I started to know them and what they exactly do. It's not just driving the truck. It's
Right.
much more than that. And
I know.
I really started respecting them.
And plus, truckers, especially in that terrain,
yeah.
is something very different. And the life of those truckers in those treacherous terrains are completely different from truckers of normal mainland India.
Nice, humble guys with families. They miss
Right.
their families, but they say we don't know if we will go back from here.
Yes.
I mean, that is how we.
And because back then, 2010, 11, that time, the roads in Ladakh and Spiti were extremely dangerous. Now the roads have become very safe. Still, they are dangerous, but back then the situation was very bad, actually. Right.
So how things happen? I mean, I was waiting at Gramfu, looking for listening to the truckers, because so many trucks were going to
Ladakh.
Trucks and tourist cabs. Oh, I mean, it was a huge. Many people were going that side. So Gramfu was nearby. When we go to Gramfu, sometime walking, and we see that very few vehicles go to Spiti. Rarely.
So you just abandoned your idea about going towards Ladakh later?
Yeah, I thought maybe later, but then I thought of going to Spiti.
Okay.
So we were having tea there, me and this shepherd, and one car came, one taxi came, two girls from Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah. So they stopped there for tea, and they were kind of worried. I mean, they were discussing. I could not understand what they were speaking.
They're speaking Indian local language.
So I asked the driver what happened. He was from Delhi. So driver said they are very scared. I mean, they booked me to go to Spiti, but I am also scared, and they are also scared
because of the road conditions.
Yeah, because Rohtang was so bad. So now they are undecided what to do. So I went and spoke to them. So during the conversation, it just randomly came. I mean, I was also I was also looking forward to go to Spiti. So they said, "Will you come with us?" I said, "Then perfect. I mean, I am waiting to go anyway. So if I get a lift, I don't mind." They said, "Okay." So
you joined them?
Yeah. So I just said, "I have my luggage there. Let's go." So we went there, picked it up, and first day we stopped. I mean, that day we stopped by at Batal.
Okay.
So we camped there, and the next day we reached Kaza.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, there they stayed only one more night and came back. I stayed back.
So you stayed for how many days?
In 3 months.
3 months. My God. So you were in Kaza only for 3 months?
Kaza, Kibber, Mood, Geti.
Okay. So you explored all the places?
Yeah, most. So Lidang was a very beautiful place.
Okay.
So there were more to explore, but then that time the Ladakh, because I was not time bound.
Right. You had all the time in the world.
I had time. I was a little short on money, but by that point, after after that was, I think, my 4th month. So I realized that you don't need. I mean, it can work without that.
Okay, so just coming back to the finances, what I remember is that you had saved a limited amount of money, because as I said earlier, your goal was not to accumulate a particular sum of money and that come out of corporate, but you had whatever savings you had, you just
some money you need to travel. Yeah,
right. So how did you manage regarding the money front?
Yeah, I was living a very simple life.
Okay.
Couple of times food was in somebody's house, they would invite. And it was like, I mean, you eat what you need.
Right.
No fancy stuff.
Yes. So, basic food.
Yeah. So it was okay. I mean, I never felt shortage of money out there.
So I think you also made out ways trying to earn, you also earned some money.
No.
Okay.
Nothing. I mean, I never even thought about that.
Okay.
or that time I was just traveling myself. So it was only about earning the experiences.
Okay. So money,
So
but then again, so I think from Spiti you had to come down to Guwahati, right? For your father's, when your
yeah, that
father's
time
health.
no, that is second. I mean, first Ladakh cloudburst happened.
Okay. Yeah.
All roads got blocked,
Hmm. Hmm.
and oh, one more story is there.
Okay.
So a very interesting story.
Okay.
So this shepherd I told you in Manali.
Ah.
So that time I had a camera.
Right.
My brother gave me a camera.
Hmm. I
So
think you had a DSLR back
yeah,
then.
yeah. So I was very much into taking. I was not like a professional photographer, but I used to like to just capture moments.
Hmm.
So I used to take pictures, and for these people, I saw little things bring joy to them,
Hmm.
which was very fascinating for me. So
Hmm.
this family never had a family portrait.
Okay.
So I got them. I clicked photos, clicked them, got them printed in Manali, and gave them pictures. So they were super happy.
Okay.
They posed is so a bunch of photographs I gave them. So while talking, he used to say that is Spiti Valley. We used to most of the time we used to his cows would be grazing. We'll sit, smoke a joint, and then he used to tell stories about his past.
Okay.
And so he used to show that is Spiti,
Hmm.
and my brother lives there.
Okay.
I asked him where.
Hmm.
He said I don't know. I haven't met him in maybe 20 years.
Okay.
So, but from someone he heard, maybe he is somewhere near around Kiber.
Okay. Kibber.
Yeah. So I asked him, "Do you photo? No photo, nothing."
Hmm.
So, but that was in my mind. When I went to Kiber, it was a small village.
Hmm.
So I started looking for that guy
Okay.
because I had this guy's photo now,
Right. Right.
and three kids, small kids from the village.
Hmm.
I asked him, "Do you see someone similar like him?"
Hmm.
Oh, Manali from
So his
Manali he
brother
came.
in Kibber, he was also a shepherd.
No,
Okay.
he was not a shepherd. So, but he was not born and brought up in Kibber.
Okay.
So that way I asked them, is there anybody living here? So that way we found him also.
Okay. That's very interesting.
That way we found him. I
Huh.
showed him photos of his brother. Teardrops came from his eyes.
Okay.
Similarly, I took his photos, his house photos. I when he started going to his house,
Okay.
we used to have chai and this chung. That time
Mm-hmm.
we used to have chung. So chung together. So these kind of little things.
It's such a huge thing for them.
Then when I came back with his photograph showed in Manali to these
Yeah.
guys were amazed.
Okay. Also, so when you
It
came
was
back to Manali, you again met him,
yeah.
the shepherd.
So I
Okay.
was supposed to stay in Manali.
Okay.
So this it was like a movie set for me.
So back then, this shepherd guy, he had a mobile number or something. So any contact?
I don't think so. I myself did not have any mobile.
So how did you contacted him when you came back to Manali?
I went to his house.
Oh, you knew his house, right? Okay. Okay. Right.
I had
Right.
no phone, nothing.
Ah.
Uh,
So from Spiti, you again came back to Manali.
yeah. So after the
Roads
because
were opened.
yeah,
Ah.
so I was supposed to go from the other side, Nako side.
Okay.
But suddenly the roads opened up, and there was a people started saying that you better now you move down. So I
So
met
you
couple
came
of
back via again public transport,
yeah,
bus. Okay.
not bus. Coming back, we came by sumo.
Sumo. Okay. So again, you stayed in Manali for a couple of days.
Yeah, same place where I was staying.
Okay.
So from there on in Manali, I used to withdraw like 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees like that. So
So
suddenly,
till then, I think it was how many months already?
the 6 months plus.
6 months.
Yeah.
So you had still some money left
Almost
in your
7.
bank.
Yeah. So I had 10,000 rupees.
Last.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I withdrew 1,000 rupees, and the next time I went to withdraw, that 1,000 rupees would be like for a 5 days,
Huh.
a 1 week
Hmm.
thing. So once then the next time I went to withdraw, I saw that my account is clean.
Okay.
I don't even have one penny left.
Uh-huh.
So I was like surprised that what happened.
Okay.
So suddenly I'm left with nothing.
So how come the money went vanished in your
So
account?
when I went to the bank to complain, they said that there it shows after did your transaction, there was another transaction which took out all the money.
Oh, so there was a fraud which
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Okay.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody behind me or something happened.
You left your card behind or what?
No, no,
Like,
no.
okay. So you must have not exited from the screen in the
I don't know.
ATM.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Much as I remember, I did everything right.
Hmm.
But frauds are. I mean, these guys are know what they are doing. I don't know. I mean, but that happened.
Okay. So 9,000 rupees got vanished
Yeah.
from your.
So I was left with zero,
Hmm.
and I felt a little, low because now I'm left with nothing. What to do? But then again, a new chapter started. So all these guys from, I was more close to this, all these regular guys around.
Hmm.
The waiters, the
Right.
cobbler, the massage guy.
Hmm.
So
In
the
Manali, old
yeah,
Manali.
some peddlers.
Right.
So
In old Manali.
yeah, so these guys came. They said, "Don't worry.
Hmm.
You want to stay here? You stay here.
Okay.
For this, you don't have to go back." That was again another thing. Then I was traveling with a French family
Okay.
in Spiti.
Okay.
So they also, by that time, they also came to Manali. They said, "We are going to Nepal.
Hmm.
So we want, if you want, you come with us.
Hmm.
You don't need money. You just help us with language and all that. Just be with us. But we are not. We will stay in monasteries." So I decided, okay, I go with them.
Okay.
I mean, that was, I mean, that transformation had already happened. That I felt like, okay, I don't need money now.
Hmm.
I can go on.
Okay. So that French
Things
family
work out.
was like full family, husband, wife,
Yeah,
children.
3 kids,
Okay.
husband, wife.
Okay.
So uh, I came to the cyber cafe
Hmm.
to drop a mail to my brother
Okay.
to say that now I'm going to Nepal.
Uh-huh.
But before I could write, I got a mail from him
Okay.
saying, "Dad not well.
Hmm.
Try to come back
Father
home."
is not well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that was, I think, 2011.
yeah.
Uh,
So the end of 2010, I guess,
End of 2010. Right.
around October,
Okay.
November.
Okay.
So my brother would not do that. I mean, he always encouraged me.
To
In fact,
travel.
in many a things, he has been an inspiration for me because he
Hmm.
was a guy who always did things which was unconventional at home.
He
Who
was
has
also a traveler at one point
Yeah,
of
yeah.
time.
So when I got a mail from him, I felt that I have to go because
So there is something serious.
he wouldn't call me unless it's serious. I
Hmm.
did not even have money to come back home.
Right.
So this the guest house I was staying in.
Hmm.
So this guy helped me book my tickets.
Okay.
Then I gave all my books to him,
Okay.
and whatever I could give away, I gave away. Then from there, I came and met you in Delhi.
Yeah. Yes. I received you in Delhi
Yeah.
airport. At that time, I was posted at the security front of Delhi airport
So from that moment on, from there I landed straight in the hospital.
in Guwahati.
Yeah, and from there again, it's a new cycle.
Right.
It's a new
So
cycle.
when just talking about the financial part in Himachal and the difference which is there with Northeast. So in Himachal, if you remember when we went to Himachal with you, right, me, Nomi, and you, and went to Manali, Old Manali specifically, you can stay there in such cheap rates. In fact, you can stay there for 100 rupees per day as well. I think you have stayed, right?
No, see, the thing is, I mean, Himachal and that part of the country has seen tourism from a long, long time.
Long time. Way back.
Yeah,
Way back.
and the kind of tourists that have come in also, it's mostly backpackers here.
Backpackers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, today we have backpackers who take planned tour packages.
Right.
I have never heard of backpackers taking
Taking tour packages.
tour
Yes,
packages.
yes, yes.
So
Very correct.
things were different, times were different.
In fact,
And-
there was I think then there was a trend that mostly the foreigner backpackers who came in, mostly Israelis, they used to stay the summer in Manali, and by November and December they would come down to Goa. So that was the trend with them.
There was a trail.
Yeah.
There was a trail. So
There was a trail.
winter time they go down south or go to Rajasthan side
Or Goa, mostly Goa.
Hampi.
Right.
So these were like beautiful people.
And those people, they just come over, and there was no package, nothing, no plans. They just come over.
Yeah,
And I think very truly said, that now even backpackers come with two packages.
Yeah, many I
Many
have seen. Yeah.
backpackers, yes.
So, but anyway, I mean, again, it's
So you again then suddenly from that wonderland you came down to reality, to your family
no, that
urgency.
was reality too. If
Right.
we are
That was
not there, we feel like it's not reality.
right. Right.
But it was another reality.
This was something you can say a commitment as a
Yeah.
son and a responsibility,
And
family
if I
responsibility.
would not have been there,
Right.
probably I would not have been able to face or do what I did during the next 3 months here.
Right.
Every morning from that day, coming from like that magical, mystical place
Hmm.
I'll call heaven. From there, I landed straight in hell. I
Right.
mean, the next day onwards, I had to go every day to
To hospital. Yeah.
that to cancer hospital,
Cancer
and the
hospital.
kind of misery I saw there, I have
Right.
never seen in my life.
Hmm.
I mean, people are suffering, kind of pain. Even, I mean, to get a, I mean, how ridiculous could people be? That
Hmm.
is a government hospital, supposed to be, for the people. They know poor people. I mean, the doctors treated us patients like dogs. I mean,
Right.
we treat dogs better. So I mean, no respect. And to get us, they said your dad needs attention, medical treatment to start his radiation.
Hmm.
He did not want to go for chemo, so he said to start radiation, he needs immediate.
Hmm.
Then we go to okay, immediate. So let's start immediate. No date. Date is after a month.
Oh.
Hmm. But there are ways to get date.
So
You
the
know what?
money trail.
Yeah, the money till. So somebody, we knew some people, and they helped. They spoke to the director and all, somebody there, and then we got a date.
Hmm.
But that is how it is, and that's the another reality that I went through.
Right.
So
So I think post your father's death, after 3 months of struggle, so then again how you became associated with tourism, now in not as a traveler but as a on the other side of
no,
the
no, no.
table.
I was not associated with tourism. I mean, you have
Huh.
been saying that, but
Yeah.
I have never been that way associated with
Hmm.
tourism. I mean, lately now you're starting to.
Hmm. Tourism in the sense the other side of the table, I would say, because earlier you were a traveler, so but then again you started working in
No,
a
here same
resort.
thing.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a similar thing.
So
After that,
how you landed in Sohra, Cherrapunji?
after that we lost one of our friend, one of my best friend.
Right.
So
Jibon.
yeah, so after that, I mean, that was back to back.
Hmm.
I lost my dad, and then I lost him. Then somehow, I mean, I couldn't leave. I felt like I couldn't live here
Hmm.
because it kind of haunted me.
Hmm.
So I wanted to. I felt again the hills are calling.
Hmm.
So one of my friend from Bangalore, who was another, I mean, very close friend, and he had, I mean, who was a different kind of a person. So he,
What was his name?
Manjunath.
Manjunath. Okay.
So he had this place called Maya.
In Bangalore.
Huh.
Right. I think
So
that library.
yeah, yeah. So he
Right.
came.
Hmm.
He came, and we went to Sora.
Hmm. So that was in 2011.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So and then Manas, our friend Manas, he told
Hmm.
that there's a place there where we went, a
Hmm.
beautiful place, but you can try you go live there,
Hmm.
stay there.
Hmm.
So we stayed there in the dormitory.
The Saimika.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There another guy we met was Eric, who came. Now Eric has a guest house. You met him
Yeah, yeah, in
in
Shillong.
Shillong.
Yes.
So
Okay, you met Eric at that point of time.
yeah, so he showed us around. Very nice guy. I mean, we liked the place.
Hmm.
Then Manjunath left. There I found out that this place has nobody to run the place as such.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to. I mean,
The owner was from
yeah,
Shillong.
yeah. So I called the owner and asked what's the scene, and she said that yeah, I mean, we want somebody to run the place as such, and but those times it was not Sohra like this.
Right.
People used to go there for day visits.
Day visits. Yes, yes, I remember.
s-
People used to go to Cherrapunji from Shillong, day visit, and then
Yeah,
they come
yeah.
back to Shillong and stay. Right.
And the place was, I mean, from the highway till there were two houses.
Hmm. I still remember.
Yeah, barely any lightings and all that.
Yes,
So it was
yes.
a dark place.
Yes.
you know.
Straight out of a haunted
Yeah,
movie.
so
Yeah, horror
but
movie.
somehow we liked that place, and I called the owner. She said, "Okay, if you like, you stay there
Hmm.
and see if you like. If you can stay, you
Hmm.
stay. But first, try. You see, because even she wasn't sure that I'll be able to go and stay there.
Right.
So I stayed there and ended up staying almost 8 years.
8 years. Right. And that place became a hit actually.
I don't know. That place was different. It had a soul, and I mean, I loved it. The people. I mean, before that, everybody told me don't go to Sohra. Everybody told me don't go
So what
there.
was the reason?
That you will not be.
Folklore. So
Huh?
there are many folk tales
No,
of
that is,
Saura
yeah,
actually.
that is one thing about black magic and all. Secondary, a non-tribal guy living in a tribal village.
Right.
So even people from Shillong, my sister was living in Shillong at that time.
Hmm.
Her house owners tried to convince me don't go there, but when they said, I mean, when people told me don't go there,
Because I think the question of accepting you as a non-tribal
yeah,
was the
yeah,
main
yeah.
agenda. Yeah.
So I felt like more to reason to go there.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I started more believing in the other world.
Hmm.
So when I went there, I saw completely. I mean, it was completely opposite to what I heard or people said.
Hmm.
You know,
And I think finally you became very close with all the local
yeah. I
villagers,
mean, I
all the
got
local
so much
people.
love from the people. I mean, that's. I mean, even now I would call it my second home, not second home. I started saying that I belong to Sohra.
Right.
So I mean, Sora is different. I cannot explain. I mean,
Hmm.
and I have never been again to such a place.
Right.
Another reason is that the prevalence of the kind of music scene. I mean, I
Hmm.
have never felt that. The first time I went in the taxi, they were playing like as we started. They did not play music until we got out of the city, out of the town. As we moved to Upper Shillong,
Upper Shillong.
that's where they slowly started playing the music. Country Roads was the first song that played.
Hmm.
The first friends I had were made there was taxi drivers. Last born,
Last born.
his
Yeah.
brother from another mother now.
Ah.
So these were all taxi drivers sitting there listening to CCR. Because I mean, I have never seen a scene like that,
Hmm.
and that was the scene that where I felt, you know, I mean,
Very much connected actually.
so that is how
Yeah.
we made
So
our
music
friends.
was one thing which was like the first connection.
Yeah, everything. I mean, the whole place as a package
Hmm.
was, it was different. I mean, I cannot
Hmm.
explain. You have to feel it.
I know when I still remember when we first went to Sohra, Saimika was in 2014 January. I still remember. And at that point of time was also, very few people who went there actually.
And I was very happy that time. There was no WhatsApp, there was no Instagram, all that.
Right.
And
No
I mean,
social
had
media.
no idea about that. I
Hmm.
did not have a phone. 7 years I stayed there. No, I mean, I had a phone, but this,
Basic phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So no internet, no television,
Hmm.
but only music. No newspaper, nothing.
Nothing.
I did not know what's happening in the world,
Hmm.
and it makes no sense because I can't do anything about it.
Right.
And I don't feel like I want to change the world. No, I
Hmm.
cannot change the world, but yes, I can.
Hmm.
Probably what I can do around, in and around. I
Hmm.
used to know everything what's happening in the village,
Right.
but I don't know what's happening beyond that.
Beyond that. Right.
So it
So
was,
you were like totally, connected from the mainland India, actually.
which I mean, about of the disconnected with the other side of the world, and people came there. That's when we get to know, and it was
Right.
nice. I mean,
Right.
but then slowly things started. I mean, which is I cannot say good or bad because it has its
And
plus and
slowly, I think the
minus.
tourism gathered steam in Sohra,
Yeah,
right? And now, though, it has become almost crowded, very much crowded,
yeah.
actually.
So that we can't help, and because of these things, now I myself have an Instagram account.
Right.
So I never thought. I always thought I'll never have all these things. I disconnected myself with everything.
Disconnected yourself from social media.
Yeah.
So, regarding your experience of almost 8 years, so what were the, some moments or like you handled a lot of guests there in duration in the entire 8 years, and we have heard a lot of stories, right? So, what was the difference of people coming as tourists in Himachal and in Sohra,
See, people will be people.
right?
Now, Himachal also, by that time, you had this crowd sometime coming in from Delhi
Hmm.
or some other parts who would create nuisance out
Hmm. They'll
there.
be loud and
Yeah.
all these
So,
things. Yeah.
similar here. We had good people. The first guest I had, they left me a bottle of Jameson and note, which I still have today. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
by a guy called Perry. They were a group. They were a group of. There was a thing called, I think it still happens, called auto run, where they ride autos through the country,
Right. Right. Right.
cross country.
Yes. Yes.
So
Auto rickshaw runs. Yes. Yes.
that team came down there. So that was my first guest.
I think they. In fact, last year when we went to Spiti, we saw this group of autos. Yes.
Probably still
Yeah.
going on. So that way, and you have the kind of people who I had to tell, please never come back again. I mean, I really don't want that kind of people, even today. I mean,
Right.
don't come in a place with disrespect or come and disrespect the place.
Right.
You know,
Right.
know why you are traveling. Come with respect. Go with respect.
Yes.
Simple.
That's
thing
very
is-
important.
Yeah,
That if you're coming over, then please come with respect and go with respect.
yeah, yeah.
You should respect the local culture, the local people, and their local ways of living and the local tradition.
Yeah, they
Actually.
have been living like that. Who are we to come here for 2 3 days and tell them you should do it like this, you should do it like this? You know, I mean,
Right. Right.
mind your own business and let them. You know, why have you come here to
Right.
see this place, right?
And when we talk about Saimika in such details and Sohra, how can we not mention the music festival which you actually started off with some friends, Shine a Light, Voice of the Silent Hills. So, can we speak about that festival?
Yeah, that was we keep when we meet. We always keep talking about it. Even the other day, I met Rocky,
Right.
Nana.
Hmm.
So I mean, things just happened, and
Right.
it was a dream. We never thought we'll. I mean, for me, I never thought I'll be involved in such a thing.
Hmm.
But slowly, as we started living there, and so
And I think there were the festival happened for 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
3 years. So that was for 2014, 15, and 16, I believe.
Yeah, so basically the idea was, I mean, it was somebody else was supposed to do a festival. It was supposed to be a big festival, but somehow things didn't work out.
Mhm.
But on the background, we had already made some commitments because
Right.
they had made commitments that everything is sorted. And in the last moment,
Right.
kind of things didn't work out.
Regarding the sponsors and every
But
sponsorship.
for us, because in a village, things work differently.
Right.
A word is a word.
Right.
So we didn't want to step back. So one night Rocky was there, he's there. I mean, Sina was there, Chris was there. So we all just randomly we said what to do now. I mean, do we go step forward? If we step forward, we step forward with nothing,
Hmm.
and we have nothing,
Right.
and or we move back out.
Hmm.
So we decided no, we don't back out.
Hmm.
And the whole idea was it was a gathering of, it was not a festival as in a festival, I would say.
Right.
I would call it it was a gathering of
Music lovers,
musicians and music lovers.
specifically rock and roll.
Yeah, rock
music
and roll,
lovers.
live music. I mean, it
Live
could be
music.
anything. It could be, we had folk music, we had bihu coming in, we
Hmm.
had Khasi folk coming in,
Right.
we had rock, metal, everything. I mean, it was not that specifically to describe as only rock music,
Right.
but we did not want any electronic. We wanted raw music.
Hmm.
So that way, I mean, Rocky was involved with
With
sound.
sound,
Yeah,
yes.
he just started his career at that time. So he said he will help with the sound. He will bring in the sound. We were connecting with a few bands.
Hmm.
The bands were willing to come.
Right.
So when we thought, when the bands are there, when the sound is there, what else? If not for anybody else, let's do it for ourselves.
Recently, this one band from India, from Sikkim, they got into America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
Right.
Girish and the Chronicles. Yeah.
Girish and the Chronicles. So I believe they have also come down and played in
No, no.
China Light. They have not played.
GATC has not played there.
Okay.
From Sikkim, another band who is also very, in fact, two bands.
Ah.
One is Ginger Feet, Abhishek Gurung,
Hmm.
and his he has another project of his.
Okay.
So these guys from Sikkim at that time, they were they played.
And I actually, attended the last festival in 2016, and I went there just for one day, or I think 2 days, but I ended up staying all the 3 days, and somehow, that festival got so much connected with that property, Saimika, that after so many years, even if today I go and visit Saimika, I still feel, that vibe of that festival in that property. I still feel.
People who felt it, they felt it. I mean,
Right,
people who were there, who knows it, they know it. I mean,
right.
we cannot tell about it. We cannot, I mean, explain about it. But who were there, who felt it, they felt it.
They
It
felt the
was it
vibes.
was really good. The
Yeah.
bands were happy. We did not have any sponsor, nothing. I mean,
Yes.
but how it happened, how we managed, we ourselves are grateful. I mean, I don't know. We do ourselves don't know how it happened. I mean,
Hmm.
but after a year also, we were paying the debts. But it was never. Today we hear people saying that we did not get paid, this that, bands complaining, but not one band who we later on first year, most of them came for free. I mean,
Right,
they just
right.
played to be a part of it because it
Hmm.
was, as we
They
said,
wanted to. They wanted a stage to
yeah,
perform
it's a
live.
gathering, yeah, so
Yes.
it was like a gathering.
Right.
So second year onwards, we thought we'll make some, contribution and remuneration for the band's musicians as well, because that also they deserve it.
Right.
So if we can, why not? So minimal something. Stay people. The band stayed in the campus. Many people said you sell the band rooms and let the book a cheaper place for the bands. But
Hmm.
we felt that no, the bands have to be here. They are the soul of the festival.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
if they are not
They
here,
have to be
then
at the location.
yeah. So if they are not here, then, and that is why, I mean, even after the gig was over, show was over, it was like you have bonfires and jammings going on everywhere.
Everywhere.
So it was a different kind of a scene, and there is no complaints. Every band, even bands we meet today across, I mean, they remember, and they are very. I mean, the question is when. Even
Right.
third year would have been a great hit, but because of Mr. Modiji,
Hmm.
because he few days ago he decided to do this demonetization shit.
No, I think demonetization happened in 2016. No,
Yeah,
it happened.
2016,
Okay.
that year only. So just before this festival was on in December.
Hmm.
So this happened in November, towards mid-November and November.
Right. Right. So
So
because of that, I think you suffered because
yeah,
in terms of sponsorship
yeah,
and all that.
not exactly. I mean, people coming in, footfall. I
Right.
mean, it affected us a lot.
So, like, uh, can we expect? Because I always look forward to a China Light re-happening sometime in the future.
I mean,
Uh,
I mean, we would love to. I mean, we always talk about it, but we
right.
just don't want to do it like that. When we do it good,
Right.
and we don't want to sell the soul of the festival.
Yes.
I mean, if that is sold, then there's no point doing it. It's just
Right.
doing another festival. I mean,
Right.
I'm not an event guy.
Right.
That is not my profession. Or and Rocky is still involved. He is doing his. But when it comes to this particular festival, he knows what it is. So
Mm.
this is something we never compromise.
Right. So
So
because it's now almost 9 years since the last China Light
yeah,
happened.
so
So
9 years.
no, 2016. So we are at 2025. So almost 8 to 8 years is completed. Right.
There was
So
another friend called Bhaskar.
yes.
In fact, there was another guy from Shillong called Bobby who
Hmm.
helped us. Then the local guys, Lasborn, Ban, Tenny. I mean, the local boys out there, Ning, all of them, the Sohra local people also helped.
They
Without them,
supported a lot.
yeah,
They
without them,
supported
it
a
would
lot.
not have
I
been
know.
possible.
And let's keep our hopes high that someday we see China Light
Yeah, hopefully,
happening.
why not? Yeah,
Yes.
it's always good if we have something to look forward and dream of.
Right. Right. So now coming back to travel and tourism in Northeast. So again, you landed up in Nagaland, right? So and now handling this pretty new property started from 2020, Juko Retreat. So what's the difference of the travel scene and the tourism scene between Meghalaya and Nagaland? What's the difference that you see actually?
See, now as you see, Meghalaya grew up to a. I mean, now Meghalaya is known as
Right.
a
All across the
tourist
country, across yes.
hotspot. Yeah, Nagaland is not. Nagaland is known, but Nagaland is known in specific terms, which I feel I may not, because I don't think I really would be able to say everything about Nagaland, because even I am new there. I just started living there,
Right.
and I'm also learning and trying to become, or part of
But
the
yes,
whole system.
Nagaland becomes a hotspot during the Hornbill Festival in December. So Hornbill Festival is a festival which happens in near Kohima. There is a festival ground called Kisama Village, and every year from first between 1st to 10th of December, so this Hornbill Festival happens, and people from all across the world, all across the country comes over, and almost all the major tribes of Nagaland, they showcase their culture and tradition in Hornbill Festival. So I think majorly 7 to 8 tribes of Nagaland, right?
No, no, 16 plus. I
16
mean,
plus
there will be
tribes,
20
yes.
plus you will see there. So, uh, people know already, across the world know about Hornbill Festival. And then next is Zuku Valley.
Juko Valley, yes.
Yeah,
Juko Trek.
but beyond that also for me now, because
There are many places in Nagaland to
yeah,
see
small
and
things. Now,
explore.
when you are living there, probably for people it's a common thing. It
Right.
doesn't, you know, it doesn't. I mean, the way it, the joy it brings to me, simple things.
Yes.
Maybe it's just a regular thing for a lot of local people.
Right.
So we see things from a different angle, and
Because there are still many places in Nagaland which are so simple. The village life is so simple. In fact, recently when I went last month, I explored Futsero and then Japami village. So that was something very new, and the way of life out there
uh,
is so simple and enriching.
so in terms of tourism, I think the whole structure is different. Nagaland is more of rural tourism,
Right.
where you have nature, is a mix of nature, culture, history. Historically, Nagaland is very different from the rest of the
Northeast.
northeast of the history. It
And
has a
plus, if one wants to experience the actual tribal culture of Northeast, that can be experienced in Nagaland,
yeah,
actually.
because they still are grounded.
Grounded,
Many
and
places, yeah,
they have uphold their traditions and
yes, yes,
culture,
yes.
actually.
So that way, adventure, little bit of adventure is also there.
Right,
So
right.
it's a mix of all these things
All
together.
these things, yes.
We would not see as in such waterfalls and such the whole terrain is different from,
Right.
though it's both hills, but it's very different from Meghalaya.
So I think, as you must be, aware that tourism in Ladakh and Spiti, because many people, they are still very much, they have their aspirations to go up Ladakh and Spiti, ride their own bikes or go in their own vehicles. I believe, but Ladakh and Spiti, I believe the pinnacle of the bell curve, they have reached the top. But Northeast still has a lot to offer. In fact, all the states, Meghalaya, many people, if which I have experienced myself also, that if somebody comes from outside, uh, in Northeast, the main places which they are aware about are Cherrapunji, Dauki, and if I talk about Arunachal, then Tawang, and if I talk about Assam, then it's Kaziranga. But I believe the other states, Nagaland, Manipur, I have taken people to Manipur as well. Manipur also has a lot to offer,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, say for instance, the last 2 years, all of these unfortunate incidents have been happening in Manipur. So that's very unfortunate. But we hope that Manipur, uh, gets back up in its feet very fast, because it's again a very beautiful state. And Manipur, I think, along with Nagaland, can be clubbed very beautifully, because the road which goes from Nagaland to Manipur and actually finally connects to Southeast Asia. So the tourism route is very much actually helps out, for a traveler to travel.
Yeah, often when you go off the beaten, I mean, there are travelers and there are these tourists.
Right,
Again, in tourists, there are people who want to come and see new places, and there are people who don't know why they are coming here for.
right,
So I think, I mean, it's the same everywhere. I mean,
right,
now with this internet and everything, social media and all, I mean, everybody is going everywhere.
right,
But there are differences. I
right,
think not everybody should come or go everywhere.
right,
People should know why they are traveling. People should know what exactly what they are seeking,
right,
what they want to see,
right,
and what they want to experience, and accordingly decide where to go, because there is an option for everybody.
right.
But for Northeast, or say Nagaland, or for even for Meghalaya, like this recent, I think everybody should not come. I mean, it's not just for the sake of tourism that come, everybody come. No, I would say everybody don't come.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I will say that if you are coming to Northeast, please don't compare with the other parts of India, specifically
Not
Himachal.
only Northeast, anywhere.
Yeah,
When we are traveling, we should have an open mind. I mean, we
you
are
should have
going
an
to.
open mind. Plus, when you are traveling to a certain place, people should do some homework and study about the place. That where you are going, you need to know certain things about that place. What kind of experience you want to take from
Because
that
it's
place.
not like a jackpot thing. I mean, the spinning wheel that
Right.
you turn it around and whichever place comes, okay, let's go there.
Yes.
No, of
You should
course,
do your own research also.
you would know why you're traveling, where you'd go.
Yes.
So this kind of, I mean, certain people spoils the reputation of a place. Plus, of
The
course,
reputation of their place as well,
yeah,
from where
yeah,
they are
yeah,
coming
yeah,
in.
yeah. And but I always say it's not. I mean, people say people from north, people from south, people from here. I think that is not right. There are good people from
Everywhere.
everywhere,
Yes.
and
Yes.
there are some some shitty people from everywhere, even from our own place.
Yes. Yes. I totally
So
agree. I totally agree.
so
So what I suggest to travelers is that if you're coming to, or not even Northeast or any place that you want to explore and go, please do some background research, do some research which place you are going, and just try to understand the local culture and the local people and their traditions, so that you make and you have very realistic experiences and expectations. Also, regarding some recent unfortunate events in some places of Northeast, what I would also suggest that travelers, when coming to remote places like specifically Northeast or Himachal, you should always take the advice of the local people.
anywhere, yeah, locals
Yes,
know the best. Locals,
locals know the best. You shouldn't go and explore, try to explore and be overly adventurous, and go alone in some tracks or some trails, because safety should be the prime, safety should be the first thing, and you should always take the advice of the locals, take the help of locals, and in fact, if you want to explore some new places, take a guide, right?
and good thing is today there are many such things. I mean, many organizations, many guys,
Right.
even we are trying to do the same. So there is a support system is there to help
Support
you,
system is there,
to
help is
guide
there.
you through, from planning the whole tour
Right.
to understanding your
Right.
preferences, what kind of a holiday or vacation you like, or how you like to travel
And
there.
that ways I think people will get an enriching experience, and
Yes, yes,
when they go back home they'll be happy, right,
yes,
rather than taking back a bad experience,
yes.
right? So I think thank you so much. With this, I think
Thank you.
uh, I'll end this podcast. Please watch this podcast. If anybody wants to come down and explore Northeast, I think this podcast will be very much helpful. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you.